Hey, what is going on, guys? Coming at you with a brand new deck profile, and today I'll be showing you guys my Lunalights. Before I get started with the deck profile, I have to give a quick shout out to Jack Paul from Galaxy Games. He gave me a really nice deal on the cards I needed to build Lunalights, and also gave me a nice deal on a Cyber Dragon Infinity for my despots, which I'll be profiling here very soon. So big thank you to him for giving me a good deal, and also thank you to him for allowing me to record our duel video where he was playing Cosmos against my Earthbound Immortals. So again, thank you, Jack Paul. So starting off with the monsters, we have the triple Lunalight Blue Cat. What it does is when it's spell summoned, you can target one other Lunalight monster you control and double its original attack until the end of the turn. So it's especially good with your fusions, putting Cat Dancer up to 4,800, putting Panther Dancer up to 5,600, or even Leo Dancer up to 7,000, which can attack twice, which is just insane. And then if it's a Destroy by Battle or card effect, you can spell summon a Lunalight monster from your deck. So it's kind of like a better version of Giant Rat for Lunalights, for being able to just summon out Lunalights, either to go for combo plays with your fusions, or to just help protect you from being OTK'd or just losing the game. Next, we have the free Black Sheep. Really good resource card for the deck. You just discard it to add polymerization from your deck to your hand, so it's kind of like King of the Swamp for Lunalights. Or you can even add a Lunalight monster from your graveyard to your hand by discarding it. And then if you use it as a fusion material monster for a fusion summon, you can add back either a Lunalight monster from the top of your extra deck or a Lunalight monster from your graveyard. So just overall really good for switching out polymerization and also getting back your Lunalight cards. Next, we have a free White Rabbit. When it's normal summon, you can special summon a Lunalight monster from your graveyard except for another copy of White Rabbit. So it's kind of like a Wolf Bark for Lunalights. And then once per turn, you can target spell and trap cards your opponent controls up to the number of Lunalight cards you control, which includes itself and also includes the Pendulum Scales. And then you can bounce those cards back to the hand. So not only is it a Wolf Bark, but it's also a mini giant True Nate for Lunalights as well. Next, we have a 2 Purple Butterfly. What it does is you can discard this card from your hand to target a Lunalight monster you control and give it a 1,000 attack until the end of the turn. So another card that can help boost up your fusions, can combo off really well with Blue Cat to just get up to really high attack. And then if it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to special summon a Lunalight monster from your hand. So another effect that combos off really well with Blue Cat to get off its effect, but unfortunately, it doesn't really have as good of an on-field effect as like the other Lunalight monsters and the Lunalight Pendulums do. So that's why I personally only play 2. Next, we have the triple Lunalight Wolf. It's basically like a Miracle Fusion when it's in scale. Once per turn, you can banish fusion material monsters from your field or graveyard to fusion summon a Lunalight monster from your extra deck. The only downside with this card is that it's a level 6, so it's not one you can Pendulum summon, and other than Tribute Summoning, the only way you have to get it out is through Blue Cat, and of course it's not searchable by Tenki, but the Miracle Fusion effect is really important, and also having it as a 1 scale is important for Pendulum Summoning, so that's why I personally play 3. Next, for the final Lunalight monster, we have the free Lunalight Tiger. It has 2 different Monster Reborn effects, both as a scale and when it's destroyed, either as a monster or a scale. Its scale effect is once per turn, you can target a Lunalight monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but it can't attack, it's affection gated, and it's destroyed during the end phase. So you're mostly just bringing back a Lunalight monster, either to go into an XYZ play, or usually to go into your fusion summons. And then if this card on the field is a Destroy by Battle or a card effect, you can target a Lunalight monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So as I said, just has 2 different Monster Reborn effects, whether as a scale, and then when it's destroyed. Then for the final monster, we have the 2 Max C. Just add a bit of an extra consistency. There's a lot of decks right now that like the special summon, so having the Max C to be able to take advantage of that is really good. So that's it for the monsters, total of 19. Now on the spells. So starting off, we have the triple 5 formation Tenki. All of our monsters, aside from, of course, Max C and Lunalight Wolf, are searchable by this card. And it's really important that you have at least a couple Lunalight monsters in hand to be able to make your fusion summon plays. So that's why the free Tenki is very important. Next, we have the free polymerization. As I said, this is something you can add from deck to hand off of Black Sheep. And then I played this and don't play any Fusion Substitute because while Substitute has the graveyard effect to where you can draw a card, and of course it does count as polymerization at all times, and unfortunately does not let you use fusion materials from your hand, whereas polymerization does. So that's why I personally like the polymerization, because most of the time you are using monsters from your hand, because you're not able to like summon everything out onto the field or use your graveyard unless you're using like Wolf's Effect. Next, with a 2 fusion recovery, let's just be able to add back our polymerizations from grave to hand and one of our fusion materials to where we're just able to push our plays even further. Can help us go into our deeper fusion plays, like go from a Cat Dancer into a Panther Dancer, or from Panther Dancer potentially into a Leo Dancer. Next, we have a 2 fusion tag. What this does is you target a monster you control, reveal a fusion monster in your extra deck, and if you do, the targeted monster's name can be treated as a revealed fusion monster and be used for that fusion material monster for the fusion summon that turn. So this basically is a way for you to instantly go into Panther Dancer or Leo Dancer with just 1 polymerization. And I don't play free just because the deck was tight on space, and it's a card that you need to have the setup for to be able to use, so I don't really want to clog with multiples. Next, we have the 2 Allure Darkness. We have 11 dark targets in the deck to banish. We just really need an extra consistency, to draw a couple cards, to get to our polymerizations, to get to our 10 keys, get to our key combo cards. Then for the final spell card, we have the 2 Twin Twister. I, of course, side the third. You just have so many ways to get cards back from graveyard to your hand or spell summon them to where you don't really mind that much discarding off a Twin Twister. And this deck can just really lose to back row, especially like the Demise decks. So you really need the Twin Twisters to be able to try to play through those. So that's it for spells. For traps, we have the double Lunalight Reincarnation Dance. What this does, if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, keep in mind it doesn't have to be a Lunalight monster. You can add up to 2 Lunalight monsters from your deck to your hand, and you can only activate 1 Lunalight Reincarnation Dance per turn. So obviously this is a great card, basically a +1, being able to add 2 Lunalight monsters, which instantly is enough fusion materials to at least go into a Cat Dancer. The reason I only play 2 though is because it is a bit conditional. It's a bit slow for being a trap, and also it's only once per turn. So I really don't want to clog with multiples with this card and have it be dead. Next, we have the 2 main deck Rivalry of Warlords. Do keep in mind that all of your Lunalight monsters, including the extra deck monsters, are Beast Warrior, so you can easily play around this card. And it's just a card that's really good against the meta right now, good against Monarchs, good against Cosmo, pretty decent against PK Fire and Brain Abyss, good against Pendulums as well. So Rivalry is just kind of a meta call card to kind of help be able to even the odds a bit with this deck going against the meta. Next, we have a bit of a Solemn Trio here with the 2 Solemn Strike and the 1 Solemn Warning to round out our trap cards. So that is it for the main deck, total of 40 cards. It is 19 monsters, I gotta think about this, 19 monsters, 15 spells, and, no, 19 monsters, 14 spells, and 7 traps. So now on to the extra deck. So starting off with our fusions, we have the 3 Cat Dancer, the 2 Panther Dancer, and the 2 Leo Dancer. So with Cat Dancer, it just takes any 2 Lunalight monsters, so it's obviously your easiest one to get out. It cannot be destroyed in battle. Once per turn during your main phase, you can tribute another Lunalight monster, and then for the rest of the turn, the first time each monster your opponent controls will be destroyed by battle, it is not destroyed. So basically you can just attack into each of your opponent's monsters multiple times. And of course you can attack all monsters your opponent controls twice each this turn, and each time it declares an attack and inflicts an extra 100 damage to your opponent. So this card is just an easy card to get over big established boards and just be able to continually poke their monsters and be able to do more damage to them. Then with the 2 Panther Dancer, it requires a Cat Dancer and 1 Lunalight monster. It cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. And then once per turn during your main phase, you can basically do the same effect as Cat Dancer without having to tribute another monster. And then when this card destroys an opponent's monster of battle, gains 200 attack until the end of the battle phase. So if your opponent has like 4 or 5 monsters on board, and you have a Panther Dancer, you just attack into each one of them twice and then have it keep gaining 200 attack for each monster it destroys by battle. So the damage can actually rack up pretty quickly in some situations. Then there's a 2 Leo Dancer. Requires a Panther Dancer and 2 other Lunalight monsters, so it's obviously your hardest one to bring out, but Fusion Tag and Wolf do make it a little bit easier. So what it does is it can't be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects, so it can actually be a hard card for other players to get around, especially being 3,500 attack. And then this card can make a second attack during each battle phase, and then once per turn at the end of the damage step, if this attacked the monster You can destroy all special summon monsters your opponent controls, so it can be a Lightning Vortex, basically, or a Raigeki in a pinch against special summon monsters. So now for the XZs. For rank 2s, we have the 1 Gaichi Gantetsu, and then the 1 Sky Cavalry Centauria. You could play Daigusto Phoenix in place of the Gaichi for the double attack effect, but Gaichi is pretty good for being able to boost up our monsters, especially the fusions, which can attack multiple times. And then the 1 Sky Cavalry is a nice rank 2 to go into. I believe we have 6 total level 2 targets for it, and it's just a monster that can help us get over annoying monsters, especially Cosmo ships. Then for rank 3s, we have the 1 number 30 Acid Golem and the 1 Super Quantum Mega Beast Grand Pulse. Number 30 is basically here if we need more damage on board, just overlay 2 of our level 3s for a 3000 beater. And then Grand Pulse is just basically a card that can get rid of spells and traps during our opponent's turn. Can get rid of 2 of them with its 2 materials, so just overall a really nice card, and also a nice 2000 booty as well to sit on. Then for rank 4s, we have the 1 Abyss Dweller, the 1 Tiger Cane, since we're playing all Beast Warriors, and this does search out our Tenki, and then it can skill drain other monsters on your opponent's side of the field as well. And then the 1 Castel. Then for the final extra deck monster, we have the 1 Red Eyes Flare for a rank 7. We of course play the 3 Cat Dancer that's a level 7, so it is something we can go into, especially good late game if your opponent's low on life points, to just go into this and basically lock them out from winning the game from there. So that's it for the extra deck. Now to wrap it up with the side deck. So starting off, we had the 2 Effect Veiler. Pretty good against Monarchs, good against Pendulums, good against Rogue matchups, and also just in general, a good card to draw from Max C. Next we had a 2 System Down for Cosmo. The 1 Dark Hole and 1 Raigeki for other matchups that we just want to, if we're going second and want to get rid of their board, especially the Monarch matchup. Next we had the 3rd Twin Twister if we're going against the back row every deck, like Klee Demise, Klee Demise or Senju Demise, even PK Fire can have a lot of back rows, so that's why we had the 3rd Twin Twister. Next we have the 2 Chaos Trap Hole in case we're going against Monarchs, or say going against Burning Abyss or PK Fire. It's just an easy side out for Solemn Strike in those matchups. Next we have the 2 Magic Deflector. Protects our scales from Twin Twister. Also just a good, in general, a good side card to put in against Monarchs, especially Domain Monarchs. Just shutting down their Stormforce, shutting down their field spell, shutting down their continuous spells for a turn is just really good. Next we have the Triple Master Restrict, again for Monarchs, keep them from Tribute Summoning. Then for our final side card, we have the 1 Soul Drain. So that is it for this brand new deck profile for Lunalights for June 2016. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And again, thank you to Jack Paul for hooking me up with the cards I needed to profile this deck for you guys. And I will catch you guys next time.